What is up, everybody? This is your host SuperSight, and welcome back to another video of Heyday, or at least something that's very related to Heyday, and it's been hours and hours and hours and hours and weeks and months in the making. That's right, some of this data I got months ago, and in this video I'm going to be showing you some really cool looking graphs that I've been working on for quite some time now, and I'm going to be explaining them all, and it's all about Heyday and all about the stats of Heyday, and you'll love it. These graphs have taken so long to make, but it's so cool because it's so related to Heyday with all the relevant stats, which are just awesome. So even if you're not into maths or stats, I'm gonna make this as interesting as possible. So welcome for all of you who are new to my channel. Right, so this here is the first graph. So this is gonna be the top 17 graphs in Heyday because I haven't seen many graphs ever before in Heyday. So I thought I'll lead the way. I'll make some of the first graphs there are, but I'll also be putting most of the stuff that I've written in the description. So if you want to read that, that will be helpful, as well as it will be posted on the Heyday wiki, but I'll be explaining it well in the video as well. So here we go, we have this first graph here. Now in this first one, it's the highest leaderboard points, and it's the top 200 players as at August 2017, the 20th of August 2017. So it is the top 200 leaderboard players, and every one of them is one of those little golden dots on the thing. So and the ranking is at the bottom. So for example, the top player is right to the left with the 11 million points, all the way down to the bottom player with just under a million, the 200th player. So that there is the graph and how I've set it out. Now I wanted it to look visually good. I want it to be visually stunning. Now it's me, you know, I'm not the best at Excel graphing, but I tried to make it look as good as I can, as I love making Heyday, graphs. Well, I love the finished product. I think Heyday graphs, I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. And so, yeah, this is the final product, and I'll be going through the different graphs. So, yeah, that one there is pretty self-explanatory, but as you can see, it really whips up at the end with those golden wee dots, with those players miles and miles, millions ahead from the lower players. But, yeah, and there's like almost a million gap from the top player and the second top player, and I just added the total amounts that they had as of that time, and then it's got the total leaderboard points on the side from 0 all the way up to 12 million. Now there's the mean, the median, and the mode, and I'll quickly explain it. Now the mode is a number, the most common number. So for example, if 3 players had a million, then that would be no one else, and every other number there was only 2 of or less, then that would be the mode. But every single one of these numbers with leaderboard points was unique, and not really surprising, and so hence there's no mode. Now the median is always going to be between the 100th and 101st player, so it's sort of like the middle of, it's not the average, but it's in the middle all the time, so you can sort of see where the middle is at. And then we have the mean, which is another name for the average. So it's the total amount of points from all these little golden dots added up, divided by 200, because there's 200 players. So as you can see, it's quite to the left of the center. So those players those really high players, those top 10 really skew it to the left. So that is the first one right there. So going to the second one. Now this here is the total leaderboard points for the top 200 players as at August 2017. So this is very similar, but with this one, and the green one is the trend line, but with this one the difference is, see the little 25% things, that is how many points are in each category. Now what I mean by that is that all those golden dots, if you add up the total of all of them, the same amount of points from adding all those up is in each of the little categories, which is quite amazing. Well, with those, the top few, so what it is it's all, for example, as you can see, top player is 11,276,000. So it's that player plus the second player plus the third plus the fourth, fifth, sixth, all the way to about the 15th player. So you add them all up, and that comes to approximately 100 million points. And then you add up the next category, which is like the 16th player through to like the 51st player. So you add them all up, and that comes to about 100 million points. So of all the total points in Heyday, well, of the top 200 players, 25% of those points belong to those top few players in each category. So as you can see, it's quite a lot to the left. And if you read the description, it will explain it more, because I'm just going through them fairly quickly. Right, this one here is pretty self-explanatory. So it's the top 200 leaderboard players points as of August 2017. So for example, of all the players on the leaderboard, 100% of them have at least less than a million points. So does everyone in Heyday, but this is talking about the top 200 players. And then, for example, how many have 1,000,000 points? At least 1,000,000, leaderboard points? Only about, for example, 85%. And then, for example, the amount that have at least 2,000,000, it drops to about 23%, and how many have 3,000,000 above drops to about 10%, 4,000,000 or above drops to about 8%, and all the way down to just 1% having 10,000,000 plus. Only 2 players have that. Okay, so moving on to the next one. Now, this is the same thing, just in a different format, the data. So that's like the top player, and it can show you more accurately the difference between the top ones. So as you can see, those top 3 are those top 3 especially, even the 4th one, that's top 3 or 4 are just so far ahead, because these are the next ones. These aren't like the 200th player. Like the 200th player is under 1,000,000 as of August 2017. But yeah, it just shows how the top player and the amount of points they have accordingly to the 2nd and 3rd and 4th and 5th proportionately. So I thought that was quite cool. As you can see with the 6th to 9th player, they're all fairly similar, like within a few 100,000 points of each other, which isn't that bad compared to, the top players, which are like 1,000,000 apart. Anyway, so that's the next one. Now this one here, I like this one. It's colourful, but actually some of the other ones took longer to make than this one, but this one here is quite colourful. So this is just the point category. So of the top 200 players, 14% of them have less than 1,000,000 points, and then 63% have between 1 to 2,000,000 points, and then 12% have between 2 to 3,000,000 points, and 7% have between 3 to 5,000,000, and as you can see, it goes all the way down to just only 1% having more than 10,000,000 points, and so that's the top 2 players. So that's the one there. Moving on to the next one. Now, this is the most truck deliveries in one day. So this is the top 200 players as of August 2017, as they all will be August 2017, except for the very last one. But yeah, as you can see, so this is very similar, and there's the mode in there. So 500 was the most common one. So I think about 3 or 5 players had exactly 500 truck deliveries in a day. And as you can see, some of the bottom ones have literally less than 100, all the way up to the top player having done over 5,000 truck deliveries in one day. That is absolutely insane. And then there's the mean and the median in there. So going on to the next one. Now this one here just shows the difference. As you can see, it's actually very, very close. Like the 2nd and 3rd player, 1 truck delivery. 1 truck delivery. If, the 3rd player had got up to there, man, what a bummer to stop at that, but I guarantee it was the other way around. So the 3rd player had got set the bar of being the 2nd best player, and then the 2nd player then just overtook them by 1. But yeah, that's another graph right there. Okay, moving on to this one here, which is the highest level. Now the highest level player as of August 2017 is officially level 439, followed by 438, so it's very, very close. Those top 5, really, really up there. I think that's about 5 above 400, all the way down to players being less than 200, which is amazing. And by the way, how I collected this data, I collected on the 20th of each month, so the 20th of August, 20th of September, all the way up to February 2018 so far, as of that's when I'm making the video. So what I do is I go through and I snapshot every single profile of the top 200 players. I also take a video of the leaderboard to know the points, so I can match up the players and also have a record of the leaderboard points, and then I put it all on an Excel graph. Now it takes many, many hours to do all this. It takes over an hour just to snapshot of all 200 players, and I do that once a month, remember, and then to write it all up, I've only had the time so far to just type up the August 2017 one, so I haven't even got onto any of the other ones, except I've done a few things for just the one about the leaderboard. And also another thing is, and so yes, so that's that one there. And so as you can see, pretty cool graph. I like those ones better than these ones here, but as you can see, it's very, very close with the level, although it does drop off a wee bit. So it seems close, it looks really close, but remember, there's actually 80 levels between level 10 and the 10th best player and the 1st player, so it's actually a lot of levels, even though it looks very, very close. So that's that one there. Moving on to this one here. So this is roadside shop max revenue in one day, and look at that top player. It's what the flip? 32 million coins in one day. That is ballistic. That is insane. And just the drop, from the top 10 players, it just goes 32 million, 25 million, 23 million. It just drops so quick. And then from the 10th player on, it's just sort of this flat thing. And then there's another drop. Because obviously they all wanted to get, hit the 10 million mark. Hence, the 22nd player, they were yeah, I'm not going to bother with 10 million. But all the other ones, they just I need to get 10 million, so they got it. So, absolute congratulations to that. That is so impressive. 32 million. That is insane. But those top 21 players, over 10 10 million, that's ballistic. Even those who get like over 1 million, that's still very impressive. As you can see, you know, the golden line of players just goes down into is just a dot on like 0. I think like they made about 100,000 or so. I think the bottom player approximately. And this one, as you can see, has a mode. So I think it was 2 or 3 players. I think based on where the line is, I think it's 2 players have both made it, and of course it's a cool number. It's 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. And so lots of it. Well, some players have different numbers, like, you know, they'll have like 1 2 3 4 5 6 as their coins, or like, you know, funny numbers like that are cool, like, yeah, all sorts of 7 7 7 7 7 7, you know, funny different numbers like that. So it's quite cool, as you can see the mean off to the left again. Okay, so moving on to the next ones, right? So, and by the way, for the top 10 players, these are the top 10 players of the top 200. So they're not the top 10 players in all of Heyday. I don't have access to that data. These are the top 10 players. All of the top 10 ones are from the leaderboard. So they're the top 10 of the top 200 leaderboard players, just to clarify. And so this one, as you can see, massive difference between the first player and the second player. A difference of over 7 million coins. That is insane. And there you can see the 9th and 10th player both have made that 11,111,111. So absolute congratulations to those players. That's awesome. Okay, moving on to the next one, which is the most player visits in one day. Now, like, just that top player, honestly, 1.2 million. Come on, that is like, that, oh wow, that is epic. That is awesome. Come on, like, that's got to be one of the best achievements in Heyday. 1.2 million people follow, you know, I absolutely love it. I love going on to, what's it called, Wikipedia, and looking at, you know, the top 100 or top 50 most followed people on Twitter, or most followed people on Instagram, or most subscribed on YouTube. I love looking at those stats. They're so cool. But it's like, almost like we need a separate one for like Heyday, like Heyday celebrities, like the most followed ones, you know, or the most, like, it's insane. Like I will be doing more follower graphs. Like, I've already prepared over 10 of them. Over 10 of them are ready for a video, but I will be doing follower graphs separately, because yes, I've got so many of them. I love following the followers, because followers is like influence, and I love watching, you know, the players that have the most influence, you know, the most followers. That really fascinates me, and so I've made a whole heap of different graphs on like the distributions of followers and all that. But just as a sneak peek, one player, well actually 2 players have over 2 million followers. This is in a game. This is in Heyday. This isn't, you know, this isn't even like a celebrity. But like, seriously, in Heyday, to get over 2 million, and this isn't Greg. This isn't Greg I'm talking about. There's at least 2 players in Heyday, because this is just of the top 200. They have over 2 million followers. That is absolutely insane. Like, we almost need like a separate Wikipedia page for like the most followed Heyday players, you know. Or we need a Hall of Honor. That's the one. We need a Hall of Honor on the Heyday wiki at absolute least. They've got an awesome, I love the Clash of Clans one. I used to look at it all the time, and it had a list of all the records of the achievements, first player to achieve this, or first player to hit like 3,000 trophies. It's so cool. We need one for Heyday. We absolutely need one for Heyday. The problem is we don't have the data for it. We don't know. Like, that's not available publicly, although some of the Clash of Clans ones you can prove. There's a lot less things that you can sort of get records for in Heyday that is measurable, like, you know, the first person to complete all the achievements. That would have been done a long time ago, and that's just one thing. But certainly that is something that we could consider in the future. I think that would be absolutely awesome, having a leaderboard for Heyday achievements and records. Right, so this one here, as you can see, and that one there, 1.2 million, that is ballistic. And then virtually all of them having like over, you know, the bottom 100, you know, the bottom half is like just nothing virtually. But that is so impressive. And also there was not 2 players that had the exact same amount of visits, which is interesting. But yeah, and then there's just that 1.2, that is so high. That is just so high. Way over. That's just, what? That's like almost 200,000 more visits. That is really impressive. And that's so impressive. I'm pretty sure that's not even the top player. I'm pretty sure that I think it was either the 198th player or the 140th player was that top one there. But the second one was indeed the top leaderboard player. So which was understandable because so many people would visit them because of the top player. So the second one is the top player for the leaderboard. But the first one is actually just like one of the random ones in the top 200 players, which means it can be done. You know, you don't have to be the very top, although I very much doubt, yeah. But anyway, that is very, extremely impressive. That is so cool. Oh, yes, getting onto these graphs here. Right, so this one here is really cool. Now, this one here, I actually did this one quite a while ago. I think I did it back in August, actually. So what I did, and so this was a set, like all these ones here, I made them all on Excel, but these ones here I've all done within probably the last week. Like, I did them all fairly close to each other. But the data I typed up way back in, like, November or December last year. But yeah, the graphs I've just made, I've just got around to doing it. Anyway, this one here, so this is who uploaded Heyday videos with over 1 million views. Now, this one here is, like, I thought it was quite cool, because, of course, I'm a Heyday YouTuber, so I was interested. Who are these top YouTubers? You know, who are the ones doing it? And, of course, Heyday themselves, absolutely, they're just gobbling it up, understandably, because they're, you know, the creators of the game, and so everyone's really interested in the information. And by the way, the percentage is actually higher. I just said to lower it because it wouldn't make 100%, because, for example, it gave other 9%, but that didn't look right on a graph, because other actually is 2 videos. So as you can see, the total videos as of August the 4th, 2017, that have reached, all the other ones was as of the 20th of August, but this one here is the 4th of August. So anyway, the total videos that have reached 1 million views is 23 Heyday videos, and that was as of August, so that was 6 months ago. So obviously more have, I think, since then, but that's pretty impressive right there. So one of them was from Ricky, and that was, I know which one, it's about 30 minutes long, and it's about how I make money in Heyday. I don't know all the other ones, I just know Ricky's one. And then there's Heyday Tips, which is no longer an active Heyday YouTuber. Android Games, which does a lot of games other than Heyday, but still impressive getting a video over 1 million. I think that was their level 40 video that they got up. The Pose TV also got one, and Dandelion Jim, I love that name, Dandelion Jim, yeah, also one, and then 2 from others. So, yeah, wait, why did I do that? I'm not sure why I did that, why I had other for 2 separate ones. Oh yeah, that's right, because these other ones, these ones that are listed are all ones that got even more videos on the, like, for example, one with over 100k, whereas the other ones, that was like their only Heyday video, really. Okay, so, and then Heyday, just super impressive. I think that's probably about 17 or 18 videos right there. I think 17 or 16 maybe. But yeah, so of course they get the heaps because, you know, they've really high quality videos, but also the Heyday themselves, so everyone watches them. Now, as we go to the next one, this one here is who uploaded Heyday videos with over 100k. Now, as you can, 100k views, also the same date, but as you can see, Heyday's proportion decreases. That's because virtually all of their videos already have over 1 million views. Therefore, the more videos you add to the, you know, equation, the less percentage they'll have. Hence, they control, like, have released 19% of the videos that have over 100k views. And then you got Ricky Burnett with an impressive 10%. Then you got Heyday Tips, Android Games, Heyday Guides, Game Nomad, that player there, and then Alvaro 845, very impressive, a Spanish YouTuber. I've seen them play in the Clash of Clans tournament, which they were very good. So yeah, shout out to them. My Heyday also there, Gamer Kitty, which changed the name from KDV something, Games or iOS, and then Dandelion Jim there, and then 37% from others. So that means they've just uploaded like 1 or 2 videos themselves. So not that many. But yeah, so that's the big other. And so the total amount of videos that have reached 100,000 plus views is 129. So that's them there, and I've color coordinated them so they're the same throughout all the graphs. And then anyway, this one here is who uploaded the top 200 Heyday videos. So this is an additional 71 videos from that one there. As you can see, Ricky Burnett takes the lead, and this is because all the Heyday videos is released, included in that. Because I think they've released, I think as of then they'd released about 26 or something. So all 26 are like in that category, which makes sense actually, because 200 videos and then 26 after that, 13. So they've got all their videos in their category, so they can't increase their pie share unless they release more videos, because they've already got them all in there. Ricky Burnett, very well done with 14%. Then we've got Android Games, and we've got all the other ones all the way to other, which is actually the other percentage decreases, which is interesting. But yeah, so that's that one there. with the other there. And so that's another one of the top 200 videos, and I'm pretty sure I now have one. I think the video, my mine video, I think that's on the top 200. I'm not actually 100% sure on that, but yeah, it hasn't had 100k views. I think it's up to about 80k views. Anyway, moving on to my final and favorite graph. Well, I like all of them for the different reasons, but this one here took a very, very, very long time, and so because of all the data, although actually technically the other ones took longer, but to collect the data on, but this one here, to make it all colourful, this was actually after these graph ones, which I did like last year. This was the first one I did before I did these other ones, so I used like a template, but this one here, creating the template, took quite some time. Anyway, I eventually got it, and so these here are the top 10 players on the leaderboard over the past 6 months. Now, there are some that have changed from the very bottom one, the 10th one. There's been an 11th one sort of come back and forth, but I've just kept it as this, and as you can see, I've color coordinated it. I wanted it to look visually appealing, as I said before, so I did gold, gold for gold medal, silver, and then bronze, and so on, although as you can see, the bronze did overtake the silver, but I kept it the same all the way through, and so color-wise, yeah, it was based on where they started, not where they finished. And so, as you can see, the points in million, very, very impressive, and this is very, very up-to-date, because actually, today, I think it's like, it's fairly recent. I think it's like the 25th or something, and I got the data on the 20th, because it's the 20th is when I get the data. So this is over 6 months, so this is actually quite a long time. 6 months worth of data for the top 10 players. As you can see, the gold one, top player, absolutely smashing it out, just really increasing. Like, in 6 months, they've increased, like, they've increased, like, about 3.5 million points, and so that's like 500,000 per month. That is very, very impressive. That's insane, really. And so, as you can see, top one, keeping that lead fairly steady. The second one sort of just stopped, well, not completely. They are still moving, but very slowly comparative to the other players. The number 4 has also got quite slow, as is the yellow one below that, and so, yeah, as is the purple one below that. But as you can see, the ones that are on the big increase is the bronze one and the dark blue one. They are rapidly increasing. So, yeah, the bronze one, at this rate, would be set to overtake the gold one eventually, the top player, but still there is a big gap between them. They still have to catch up like a good 2 million points before they have a decent lead. But as you can see, the top 3 players are really separated from the next players down. Like there's a big gap that they have to get like 2 million. So it looks like, whoa, this is so close, but remember, there's millions difference. Most people, just recently, the first 200 players, there's officially over 200 players with over 1 million points. But it's like 200 players with over 1 million points. It's only 200 players out of millions of people that play Hay Day that have reached 1 million points. And the difference between these players is literally like 2 million points. And so it's like, that is so much. Most people will never even reach 1 million, let alone get a gap, surpass a gap of over 2 million points, as well as that other player continuing to get points. So it is an interesting showdown between, especially the bronze player, which is now the second player, and the gold player. The other two I'm keeping an eye on. But yeah, this year was one of I thought it was colourful. I thought I tried to make the labels nice and bright and white. Well, the title white, and then along the sides I had the black ones. And so I try to make it so it's visually appealing and visually easy to see and understand. So yeah, that's how it's gone. And so they started in August 2017 was when I started tracking them, and now, as you can see, it's going along. And the longer I track the data for, the cooler it will look, because you'll be able to see more and more and more change over time. So yeah, they are the graphs. They are the colourful graphs that I've got and created, and so there's quite a few of them that I've done. But yeah, so I just thought I would show you them, because I thought they looked fairly, reasonable to show, so it took me many hours to do. Now, one last thing that I would like to say, well, 2 more things, but API, it's called Hay Day API is something I would absolutely love to see. Now, what is Hay Day API? Hay Day API is public data, real-time data of all the stats in Hay Day, of all the leaderboards, like the boat leaderboard and the derby leaderboard. Clash of Clans has it for Clash of, and so they make it so the stats are available, hence Clash's stats emerged from that and made this absolutely amazing website on Clash of Clans stats. So I'd love to see that with Hay Day, because, for example, the data before August 2017 is no data data like available, like nothing, and it's only because I started then. All of this data, I doubt many other people would have it, to be honest. There's not much data available, but it would be really cool if more data could get out there. And so, like, yeah, players, like, I wouldn't create the ABI website, you know, I'm not a programmer, but I know other people would, and I'd love to make more graphs on it, and I'd love to just, it's so fascinating, for me especially. I just love seeing the stats and the data and watching the trends. It's really, really cool. So that is one thing I really, really hope that Supercell one day adds, is Heyday API. So yeah, please do let me know what you think of these graphs. Did you enjoy them? Did you not? And so yeah, welcome to all those players watching from the Heyday Wiki, and welcome to all of you who are new to my channel, and thank you all so much for those who have subscribed. But yeah, please do let me know whether you enjoyed it, which one was your favorite graph. Is there any other graphs you'd like to see? Now, I can't promise I'll be able to make the graph, but if I have spare time, I might be able to do 1 or 2 suggestions from the comments, or like replies in the posts on the Heyday Wiki. And so yeah, if you did like it, please, please, please do give me a thumbs up. It took me many hours, and so I'd love to get some likes, and then the video could get out there and more people could see these stats and see these different graphs, these colorful graphs that I've made. And so yeah, that is basically all I have to say this video. I really, really, really do hope you enjoyed it. This has been your host, SuperSight, and remember to make coins faster than honeybees make honey.